guests tonight. Joe Daniels and Scott Lucas from the band. I think last time we saw these guys, we were doing an in-store somewhere in the Deep Valley.
Yes, North Hollywood somewhere.
Yes.
Northridge even.
Yeah, you know how they make fun of the Deep South? The Deep works for the Valley, too. There's Studio City Valley, and then there's Northridge Chatsworth. That's deep. Hey, before we jump into Local H, I just want to say something that a friend of mine, our friend Howard Lapidus, our manager, mentioned. He coined a phrase. It was deep cable. And the reason it works is because it used to be you were either on network or you were on cable. But nowadays, being on cable, if you're on Comedy Central, MTV, whatever, there's a few premier cable stations. But deep cable.
Buried in cable.
That's, the Cooking Channel.
Yeah.
Or
Home and Family or something.
One of these shows that's just about planting bulbs.
Yeah.
So deep cable.
At 2 o'clock, everything becomes deep cable then.
That's a pretty good point. So we saw, when was that? About a year and a half?
Yes.
Over a year, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys, is it all just a blur? Because we were just talking during the break that you guys had done like 386 gigs in a year and a half.
Yes.
And
people cannot appreciate what that means.
Drew and I go out.
I can't appreciate
we do 3 in a row. We're dead. We're burnt. We're spent.
Yeah, we're gone.
You guys are burnt that day in Northridge.
Yeah,
probably.
we did a half hour 5 miles from our house, and we were destroyed. We both had to go into rehab on the way back. So how is it that you can do 380 some odd gigs in a year and a half? I mean, literally
every day.
5-6 days a week. How do you do that?
The homeopathic things that are out there right now to aid you and things, it's incredible. Really.
You go in a bus every morning. You get in a bus every morning or overnight.
Oh man, it's just I can't even remember doing those shows. But
I like the overnight bus.
Did you get to see a lot of the country? Did you kind of appreciate?
Oh yeah,
that?
yeah. I mean, like coming here, we were just talking about how to get here, and I'm giving directions.
Where are you coming now? Are you guys?
You get to see a lot of clubs and things like that. It's great.
Where is your base? Is it in Chicago?
Yes.
And but you're rarely there. You're always on the road.
Right.
Do you have a decent bus? Have you been able to move up in buses over the years?
Oh, yeah, but now we downgraded again, but we're going back up after this tour.
Did you learn anything about the...
Joe's a bit of a bus connoisseur.
But did you learn anything about the people of this country?
No.
Yes, I found that people in this country are really like what you see on Springer. No.
Well, you guys aren't from Beverly Hills originally. I mean, you're from the heartland. I mean, those are the people you're talking about, Drew. Don't make fun of them.
No. What if they? Yeah, I mean, I feel like through our journeys through the Midwest, I've learned something about how that all works, what people are like there.
I found people are nicer.
Way nicer.
And they're not as well, at least. But you're comparing L.A. to the rest of the world, and that's not fair.
Well, L.A. is just everyone who moved from the Midwest or wherever.
My theory about L.A. is all the other towns and all the other cities got together, got a handful of assholes, kicked them out of their city, and sent them for L.A. L.A. is where the top 5% of the a-hole populace in all the other cities move to do something that they're not going to do. Mm-hmm. And so whenever you deal, see, what we find with our travels is when someone's a waitress or someone's working at a convenience store or some guy's pumping gas, hey, that's what he does. And he's all right with it, and he wants to do a good job with it. He's not pissed off. He's not handing you a resume. He's not on the other line with his agent. Right. He's doing what he does, and that whatever it is he does is what he does. You don't see that. I mean, you don't see guys who pump gas who are in their 50s here. You know what I mean? All right. You want to play something off the CD?
No, I want to listen to more of your theory.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk theory. Forget the music. Let's talk about...
I have this theory about why foreigners are such bad drivers I came up with the other day.
Why is that?
Well, I was thinking about it. I was driving. I don't know where the hell I was going, but I got behind one horrible driving foreigner after the other. Now, before you guys, everyone thinks this is prejudice, just hold on for a second. And this doesn't include the blacks, by the way. Blacks are fine drivers. They know how to drive fast.
Hey, we know how to drive fast and maneuver. That's it.
Yeah, they're good. Now, the other foreigners are bad drivers. And I don't know, blacks aren't even foreigners, are they? Well,
Hey,
You're one messed up dude, Adam.
well, listen. I mean, if either you're from this country or you're not,
Adam,
but you don't hear
Adam,
about
you
the
look-
blacks being foreigners.
you look pretty tan to me. You got kind of
I got
curly
a
hair.
little-
What's going
Oh,
on?
look at that.
Curly hair. Look
Yeah.
at it. The texture.
I
of
just
it.
put the relaxer in it this morning. Don't touch it. I go to bed with one of those shower caps on.
I don't
so
know,
screw
man.
up
You
the
might want
pillow.
to check your history.
All right, here's my theory with the foreigners being bad drivers. We get our ass kicked in soccer each year, right? As Americans. Like, they just had some big World Cup thing or something. They had like 36 teams. We came in 38th, maybe 39th. We came in dead last. We were eliminated immediately.
Okay, we suck at soccer.
Right. And when I say to people, how come with the resources we have in this country, with the athletes we have in this country, we can't do a little better in soccer? And they go, man, it's not just one generation. It's years and years and years. They grew up in that culture. That's why they're good at it. I mean, the Hungarians have been playing for 500 years. That's why they kick our ass in soccer. And I go, all right, that makes sense. And then I thought, that's why we drive better. Because these people were on mopeds. Their grandparents weren't driving. Our grandparents were driving. Our parents were driving. Big fat cars with 400 cubic inch engines. Their parents and grandparents weren't necessarily driving.
Yeah.
Think about that. We're getting a lot of first-generation drivers over here in this country.
And also, like I said, aren't driving when they're 16 and going through those aggressive years.
Plus, they didn't have Starsky and Hutch growing up. They didn't have models. They didn't have models for speed like we did.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of
Smoking the
Hazzard,
Bandit.
Smoking the Bandit.
Evel Knievel.
They didn't grow up with that. All right, that's
That's a good one, too.
Let's do some calls.
all right. And relax over there, Ann. I'm in the middle of a theory here.
Just because the guy asked for theories.
And go to call. Go to call. Go to.
I'm sorry.
And be quiet. Do not interrupt the theory.
Yeah, we'll go to
You've
call.
just added time to the theory.
Hey, what's up with the Royal Crown?
Crown Rollback.
What?
Crown Royal Crown, whatever.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. It was lying around the studio here, and it just made it onto the base of this mic and there it has stayed.
No, you were talking about putting it on there, and somebody got it for you.
Really? No, it's not true.
Mike got it.
You put it on your mic because you're such a silky smooth guy when
I'm
you're
going to
smoothing
get
things
I
over.
think the last time we were in here,
That's
you
why.
said
I'm going to get out my Crown Royal sack and slip it over my mic, and somebody brought one in for you.
Somebody sent it to you, actually.
Yes. You are demented.
That was one of your theories, I think, maybe.
Really?
You
One of those foreigners sent it to me?
You need to get a CAT scan.
Really? Drew, I'm still genius. You know, we ought to do an IQ test one of these days. You'd be humiliated. Even if I came up 50 points lower than you, you'd still be pissed
We tried
off.
to do that damn personal rating scale today on the Roseanne show.
That was an abortion.
didn't work.
Didn't work out at all.
Show today.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I saw you guys on Hollywood Squares. You're in the same square and everything. That was really cool.
That
It was
means
like, you know, the ventriloquists. Like, they used to be in the same square with the dummy.
the Waylon Flowers and Madam. Yeah, the bigger the star you are, the more of you they pack into a square. That's what the producers were telling me anyway. All right, we're going to hear something from Local H's latest effort.
No, let's
Pack up
keep
the cats.
talking.
Now, Ann's getting pissed off in there. What are we hearing off of this?
All the kids are right.
Oh, that's on the screen. There. All the kids are right. Off of Pack Up the Cats from Local H. They're our guests tonight. They're going to be at the Troubadour tomorrow night, and then it's back on the road. Well, they're already on the road. Just because I live here doesn't mean they're not on the road. All right, Drew?
Yeah.
We'll talk, take some calls. We'll get to Roseanne, which we did today. Alex,
Yeah,
do that later on tonight. You're 18. You're on with Local H.
yeah. Actually, I wanted to answer from, like, each one of you, if I could, including Local H. I want to know what you guys think. I was talking with a friend of mine, and I've heard that pineapple was something that you could use to flavor your semen.
Yeah.
And you want each of us to comment on this?
Well, I just wanted to know if it was true, if there's things that
Each of us will not comment on this.
What?
No, there are not things you can really do.
there's nothing you can do
Not
to
really.
change the consistency.
Not
or flavor.
really. No.
And, plus, you can hurt yourself trying to ram that pineapple up your urethra, Alex.
All right, well, I lost the bet. That's $5 down the hole, man.
Well, we've had people experiment with it, and when you really test it, people can't tell.
All right.
There's horrible and really horrible, I guess. That's what it boils down to. And you keep...
Yeah, to me, the pineapple in the semen that has just a very faint acidic citrus taste to it, is right up there with when the dental hygienist says, You want the strawberry or the pina colada scrub on your teeth?
Yeah.
When they got the instrument that goes about 5,000 RPM.
Yeah, when they're cleaning your teeth and what do you want?
Yeah, and here's what I said to her. Oh, well, listen, give me the spearmint. Give me the stuff that tastes like toothpaste. Well, some people like the pina colada. I said, who likes the pina colada? Would you think for a second that you were poolside sucking out of a hollowed-out coconut? Are they nuts?
Yeah.
When I said to her, I got her pissed. She goes, some people like pina colada. I go, I like pizza, too. Do you have one that's a pepperoni flavor? I really enjoy good pizza.
So she was extra hard on you.
First of all, you shouldn't even get that anymore. I mean, I thought that was like a kid thing. You stop getting that when
they when you get your teeth clean, they give you that thing at the end, and they give you a choice of flavors.
Yeah, I don't get that anymore.
What do you get?
They do the whole, operation thing, and then they kind of, they kick me out of it.
They don't give you the teeth clean, the polish?
No, they give me the polish, but there's no flavor now.
What do they polish it with?
Peppermint.
It's like peppermint.
Maybe it's just peppermint.
Yeah, that's all.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to have to bite down, and it's those.
You got to go to a good dentist where you get the pina colada. That's huge.
Aaron,
that's only L.A.
You close your eyes, you think you're in a resort, Drew.
What's going on, Aaron?
Well, I've been spotting a little bit lately, and I'm wondering if it's because I'm too rough with myself while I masturbate.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know, because, I don't want it to be that, because, I like masturbating, and I don't want to have to, deal with it, every time.
Well,
are you using something to masturbate?
Yeah, I use a dildo.
The difference between a dildo and a vibrator is the dildo doesn't take batteries, right?
No.
Is that the difference, basically?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what are you doing with it? I mean, you really working it around?
Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah.
Like when the school bus driver can't find reverse kind of thing?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? I mean, why are you so vigorous?
That's just the way I like it. And I'm a virgin, because, there's not really anybody that I want to... I mean, I don't, have a boyfriend. I don't, have anybody that I, really want to have sex with,
Okay, all right.
So,
Whatever it takes.
It's not for religious reasons, though, is it?
No.
Believe me, that's not what the Lord had in mind.
There are there's no doubt that deep penetration can stimulate bleeding in some women. I've certainly heard of it with an actual sexual intercourse. I imagine that it could happen with what you're describing.
Okay.
Do you otherwise okay? You menstruate normally?
Yeah.
Not on birth control pill or anything like that? No other symptoms?
No.
And it's just a little bit of spotting now and then, or is it all the time?
No, it's just now and then.
Do you get regular pelvic exams?
No, I haven't gotten one yet, but...
It's obviously not as important for someone...
How's she going to broach that with the guy?
She won't have to, but...
She won't?
What's it going to give dildo residuals?
They look up there and say, what, a badger get loose up there? What's going on? It's all augured out.
No way.
This thing is worked.
Augured out. There's no way you're going to tell. But it's not as important, Aaron, for you as it would be, say, for somebody who really actually is sexually active, because the risks of cervical cancer, whatnot, are a little higher on someone who is. But you're 18, and it is time to start getting regular pelvic exams.
Hey, Aaron,
you get it checked out. I'm sure it's fine.
Are you going with something large?
Fairly large, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, guys are going to be quite a step down for you after this.
Really?
Believe me, you're going counterclockwise, then clockwise, then in and out. The thing's 6 inches around. Believe me, you're going to get some drunken 19-year-old. You're going to be in for a huge letdown.
Yeah, I can believe that, because I like it really deep and really fast and really hard. So.
Hey, Aaron, what's up with you? Something up with you?
No.
Huh?
No.
Somebody do something weird to you?
No.
Nobody hit you or anything?
No.
Huh?
No.
Huh?
No.
It could be all right. It could be normal.
Yeah. Folks together?
Yeah.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Some boozing?
I just don't like my family.
Why?
Because they're really religious, and they're very...
You mentioned that.
You see what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. You try to ram the religious up the tuchus or the tukai of your daughter, and you push too hard. Out comes the dildo and the vigorous working.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, what would be the greatest nightmare of your parents? It would be to walk in with you and this giant dildo going to town, right?
Yeah.
But look, there are any sort of violence against young kids gets translated into some sort of sexual violence, later on. That's just sort of how it gets acted out, right?
Yeah,
Thank God she's not destroying herself with it by, dragging other people into this and having dysfunctional relationships.
You know the thing that's why our society's doomed is besides the foreigners driving, Drew, is we'll do a replay of that in the 11 o'clock hour for those who missed it. My synopsis on the foreigners drive.
Can we play it again first?
The reason we're doomed is if your parents are alcoholics, abusive, and absent, you act out. If your parents are incredibly pious and religious, you act out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any extreme, you're acting out.
You have to be very balanced.
Yeah, there's something going on with Aaron because this is like The Exorcist. Over here.
Yeah.
This is way more than just hey, I'm horny.
Yeah, but
she's 18. She's a virgin. She's going nuts with this thing.
Yeah, but she's not. You know what I mean? She's not harming herself.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Did you hear her voice shift when we asked about it?
Yeah.
All right. Derek.
Yes.
In 27.
Yes.
You're on with the local H.
Hi, local H.
Hey, what's up?
These guys sound good in person, by the way.
Excuse me?
We saw them when we saw them play live. They were real good.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Adam, Drew, love this show.
What's going on, Derek?
Well, I have cancer, and it hasn't been real good news lately, but I was wondering if it would be really, selfish of me to tell my mother she needs to back off.
What kind of cancer do you have?
I have papillary adenocarcinoma.
Oh, the thyroid?
The kidney.
Kidney?
Yeah.
Is that bad, Drew?
Excuse me?
You have a kidney hypernephroma, basically? There was something just picked up accidentally?
Yeah, it was, they thought it was, when I first went in, they thought it was,
Kidney stone, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Did they take the kidney out?
Yes, I had a radical nephrectomy in, October of 96. I've been fighting it ever since.
Did it hit spread?
Yeah, it's in my liver.
Oh, boy.
What do you do without a kidney?
You only need one kidney.
You have one.
Really?
You only need one, yeah.
Yeah, you have a spare.
Well, they ought to double up with everything. Hearts. They do with the lung. How do you, it's weird. There's two of one thing and one of the other.
Yeah, I do wish I had a spare liver right now.
I'd go for an extra penis. So now it's going after your liver.
Is it only recently turned up in the liver?
No, it turned up in the liver, the end of last year.
All right. Hey, Derek?
Yes.
We got to go to break. We're not going to get rid of you. We're going to talk to you when we come back because it's pretty heavy.
Okay.
And Drew, you can work out the cancer where the liver is and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right. He may even tell you how to do a quick biopsy just over the phone, right, Drew?
Sure.
No. All right, hang on there, Derek. Local H is here, Drew's here, and we'll be back. Well, we left off, we're speaking of Derek. Derek's 27. Derek has a form of cancer. It was in his kidneys. He had one removed, and now, oops, pressed the wrong button there. Spread to his liver. This is Derek we're talking to, right?
Yep.
Derek?
Yeah.
So what's the prognosis?
Well, it's not really good right now. My liver one of the tumors has grown 2 centimeters in the last 2 months, and the other one has grown like a centimeter in the last month.
Have you gotten a port into your liver, or are they giving you systemic chemotherapy? Or?
No, not yet. I just switched to a different kind of chemotherapy today with Taxol and I can't remember the name of the other one. It starts with a C.
What's a port in your liver?
Just something to infuse chemotherapy right into the liver itself.
Yeah, so it's like tube hanging out of you?
Yeah, basically.
I have a chest port for the chemotherapy, but he had talked about some kind of a plug in the artery that's supplying the
liver
with blood.
Yeah, that's the hepatoport, I think they call it something like that. Yeah, and, that'll happen next. But listen, what about your mom?
Well, I love my mom, and she's great, and my dad, they're real supportive. But it's like she uses me as a crutch, it seems like. It's like, well, like when my fiance calls, no matter how I'm feeling or what I'm doing, she always tells her, well, he says he's fine, but he's really sick. I don't think he should come out and see you tonight, or you shouldn't come over tonight. And she'll tell,
Well, how is she using you as a crutch?
I was using him as an excuse not to see the fiancé, sort of. I mean, his illness, right?
Yeah, she needs me to feel needed.
Well, she's smothering you.
Yeah.
She's scared to death.
Does she not like your fiancé, though, or does that have to do with anything?
No, Well, she knows she's my fiance. We've been together for 9 years, so.
No, I think Derek's mom just doesn't want anyone taking him away anywhere for any reason.
Yeah, she wants all my time and everything.
Yeah, she just wants to be just all over you.
I understand that, but I just want to know if it's selfish of me to want to spend my time.
No, Derek, listen, you got to speak up a little bit. You got to do it kindly, but you got to do it directly.
Well, you're the one with the cancer, by the way, so don't worry about hurting anyone's feelings.
That's right. That's right.
But, I mean, even with cancer, you don't want to sound like, come off as, a very snobbish, prick, childish kind of person.
No, you're not being childish.
Me.
No, Derek, it's hard for me to imagine that you would ever come off that way.
I try not to.
No, I can't imagine you being like that. And just standing up a little bit to be able to conduct your time as you please, I think is the only reason. But certainly your mom's feelings and her behaviors are natural enough, and they're not evil. They're not.
I mean, she's not overbearing or anything.
Well, she doesn't mean it's not bad. She doesn't mean ill of you because of it. But she needs to be some limits set. That's all.
Yeah, I think if you have cancer, you're allowed to say anything you want to anybody and not really worry about their feelings. I mean, you don't have to make her cry, but I would think this would be pretty devastating situation to the fiancé.
Yeah.
And she'd probably want to spend, after spending 9 years with Derek, want to spend a little time with him herself. All right, Drew?
Yeah.
Let's get a non-cancer call. John?
Yeah.
You're 18.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I got a problem. I'm 18, got a fiance, and I once loved her, but I decided I'm too young and I want to break it off without hurting her feelings.
There is no such...
You got to fake your own death.
Yeah, well, that'd be one way of doing it. But there is no such reality. I mean, everybody wants to have a breakup that lets people down easy and all this business.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, you've got to live up to your feelings, which are appropriate. I mean, there's nothing you have to be embarrassed for the fact that your feelings have changed. For crying out loud, 18, you shouldn't be getting married anyway.
Yeah.
Thank God your feelings changed.
Did you ask her to marry you?
Yeah.
Your idea?
Was
kid?
It was like a pregnancy.
There you go.
And so I decided that I shouldn't be getting married.
Do you have a kid?
No, not yet.
Oh, she's pregnant now, though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but...
I don't know, there's a part of me that just thinks you're screwed anyway. I mean, you might as well just dive in.
Is she gonna have the kid?
I don't know.
Well, how many months is she?
About a month.
Along? A month along?
Yeah, about a month.
Well, you don't have to marry her, that's for sure.
That time is so compressed when you're 18. Think about that. I mean, the sense is she said it's fiance, they've been dating. When you tried to marry her? A couple weeks ago. She got pregnant.
That's pretty ridiculous, yeah. I mean, that is bizarre. Yeah, it was a month ago. Right. So you asked to marry her just a few weeks ago?
About 3 weeks ago, I guess.
Uh-huh. And she's excited about marrying you?
Yeah.
And how old is she?
She's 16.
What?
Oh, jeez.
Boy.
John.
This is
adoption. Adoption. Think of that word. Let it ring in your head.
You should be adopted, John. Forget about the infant. Have someone adopt you and get her an abortion.
Okay.
John, listen, you can't be a dad.
I know.
She can't be a mom either.
I know.
She's 16 years old. Is she not into the abortion?
No.
She
said she won't do it.
She said she won't do it. How about adoption?
Or could I do it?
No.
Could you adopt the child? Yeah, but wear your sneakers when you go to the hospital because there could be guys chasing you. And bring something to cut the umbilical cord.
It's not your choice. It's going to be hers ultimately. And well, I sure think that'd be a heroic option for her.
See, and you got to think that before you do the deed. It's not going to be your choice. That's not right.
Well,
but
I love this country of ours, which is we cannot tell anybody what to do with their kid. Or when we can tell them what to do after they have the kid a little bit, but giving an infant to some of these callers that we have calling this show, especially this guy's girlfriend, the 16-year-old, it's a real piece of work, and God knows what kind of family she's coming from. If she's dying to marry this guy at 16, get out of the house, she's pregnant already. You might as what kind of mother is this going to be? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you might as well just give a bunch of preschoolers guns and tell them to sprint to the other side of the schoolyard. I mean, this is an accident waiting to happen, and this is a much bigger accident than all the other rules and regulations we have in this country. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God they won't let you put a kitchen over your garage.
Oh, yeah. Trying to build an addition over my garage, it's very important to the city that I can't have a kitchen in it. Can't have a kitchen.
Why is that?
Well, here's their hypothetical. If I put a kitchen above my garage in the guest house, it becomes a guest house. And then I could rent it out, and before you know it, there's an extra car parked on the street, and then the whole world spins off its axis, and we all go down in flames.
They're saying that because it will be a house. The code is you cannot put a kitchen above your garage because it will be...
Right. The point is they can tell me whatever they want to tell me about that I can do or not do on my property. That, by the way, it's not like Uncle Sam kicked off and left it to me. I went out and bought it and pay a ton of taxes on it. And by the way, if I put a guest house on it, then the house goes up another $75,000 a year in value or whatever. Just go ahead and pay the taxes on that too, even though they don't pay for any of the materials or anything. But they can tell me up and down all day long what I can do on my house, but they could never tell John's 16-year-old girlfriend what to do with the kid. And I don't mind living in a government where they just take it away. That's fine. Put them on an island. I want to talk to Erica over here. Erica.
Hi.
You're 18.
Yes.
What's going on?
Earlier in the show, I made a comment about black people running from the law.
Right.
Who made the comment?
That was me.
That was Adam. I'm pointing the finger at him right now.
That was me, yeah.
Yeah, I want to know why you said that.
He's a big a-hole.
Just a little racial comedy there.
Because
I was making a joke.
This guy is an asshole.
Okay. Well, I just thought it was really wrong.
Why?
Because I felt offended.
Were you black?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No. You're not black.
I am.
You are not.
I am.
I'm black.
Yeah, okay.
Do I sound it?
No.
See, now that's... you're judging, you see, no, I just caught you, though. You're just I asked you if I sound black, what's sounding black?
Erica?
Yes.
All right, so you're black?
Yes.
All right. Both your parents black?
Yes.
All right. And why does that offend you?
Because I just didn't think it was right.
But here's the deal, and here's my take on the racial humor, by the way. I make jokes about everybody, and to me, if you single one group out and don't make jokes about them, that's kind of condescending.
Well, that's racist.
I think it's racist when you single stuff out. I mean, if I make a joke and I joke about Jews and I joke about Indians and I joke about Asians or I joke about whoever, if there's one group that I put aside and didn't joke about them, then that would mean I paid extra attention to them somehow, and that to me is like condescending. See, the whole deal with racism, or the whole deal with lack of racism, is not to see a difference in people.
Comedy should be dangerous. It's not your fault.
Right. That's right.
I don't remember you saying that, did he?
No, I did.
He didn't say it in those words.
I snuck it in.
You said they drive fast.
Right.
I said the blacks drive... No, I put it in. I said the blacks aren't bad drivers. They drive fast, and then I said running from the law.
You have to apologize! But, see, I'm black and I drive fast.
You do, Joe. You drive a little too fast.
I drive fast.
I might not drive fast. What does that mean?
That means you have some black in you.
Oh, could be.
Drew, you're not evading the law, but the law still catches up to you. Anyway, Sue.
Yes.
You're 24.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, first, just want to say hi to Local H. Zion in the house.
Uh-oh. Zion in the house. What's happening?
Aren't you guys from Zion, Illinois?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, I hung out with Scott after a helmet show at the Metro, and he was totally wasted. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that's Scott.
Yeah. So.
I'm wasted right now.
Well, stop the press. There's a guy in a rock band had a few too many beers.
I'll check you guys out at the Metro coming up.
Where at in Chicago are you? What part?
North side. Like Roscoe Village.
Please do check us out, and I will be wasted even more. Thank you.
I will be there hanging out, so I'll have to come up to you, and then you'll know who I am. But anyways, got a problem.
Yeah.
I'm 24, my boyfriend's 21. I've dated, and dated plenty, for that matter. And,
Well, I have.
Right.
I'm cute. Anyways,
Yeah.
he's never dated before.
At all.
At all.
You have to break up with him.
No. He's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
I've never connected so well with somebody ever. And I've known him since high school.
And what's the problem?
He doesn't know what to compare our relationship to. I know that things are really, really good, and he gets kind of freaked out. He second-guesses it all the time. I don't know what to do to make it easier for him. I can't say, oh, well, yeah, this is the best relationship I ever had, so that means we're in love.
Oh, yeah, you're screwed because all he has is TV to go off of.
Yeah.
He's sitting there watching reruns of Heart to Heart and going, boy, my relationship sucks. Or watching all these sitcoms. I kind of know where he's at because I'm thinking back to, like, my first relationship, and you start thinking maybe there's something better out there. Maybe a woman is another woman is different, but
yeah,
you know what? It can also work for you, which is he could get so attached to you because you're his first relationship, which is really how it should work, right? Isn't that traditionally how it works?
Well, then he might stray in the future, though. If he doesn't if he doesn't get to experiment now and experience other things, he might want to do that.
Guys have that thing.
Guys do have that thing. You better let him out for a while.
Listen, he's no Casanova, believe me, or he wouldn't have started with you.
We're not saying break up with him. We're just looking at
break up with him and go out with local H.
How old is he?
He's 21.
What?
He's 21?
Yeah, he's...
Kind of weird that 21 he's never dated. What's that about?
School.
What's he studying?
He's done.
Good. Most people go to school and date.
Smart guy.
Going to school does not preclude
listen.
dating.
Does he wear glasses?
Yes, I love glasses.
No, that's cool.
I wear glasses.
All right, where are we going?
All right, Sue, I don't know. What do you do, work in customer service?
No, engineering.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What the hell do you engineer? Like,
I train.
Breakfast cereal or something?
What?
What do you engineer?
I build machinery.
For what?
For a factory.
That does what?
We mold plastic stuff.
Okay. All right. I didn't mean it.
Well, that technical jargon, I can't quite keep up with it.
Yeah. Enough with the insider talk. Please put it in layman's terms. Plastic stuff. Look that up, Drew.
Molding.
For Christ's sake.
Whose keys are these?
Those are mine.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Oh, all right. Why? I was wondering.
We gotta go to break.
Okay.
You can keep wondering.
Let me just finish the thought over there with Sue. He goes to school and he studies stuff. By the way, but he graduated. The guy's 21. He's not been with other women, and she's thinking he's going to stray, and he's kind of saying he wants to check out other women. But it's not his inexperience that's going to screw up this relationship. It's the fact that he's bringing it up.
It's just the relationship isn't that strong, and whatever the circumstance of the individuals come to the relationship, there's some problems here. All relationships have problems. They will work it out, or they won't.
Right.
That's all.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to talk to who?
No, I haven't picked it yet.
All right. Well, Drew's got a big surprise plan. Fine. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew. Joe and Scott are both here from Local H. The CD, Pack Up the Cats, has been out for about 3 or 4 weeks. And the band is coming to a town near you. It'll be at the Troubadour, if that's near you, tomorrow night. And then it's on the road again. All right, Drew?
Yeah.
Where were we? Did we leave off anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Want to talk about Roseanne real fast?
Sure.
Drew and I did Roseanne. Had a good time today.
At the same time you did Roseanne.
We did her talk show.
We don't get to do anything alone. One time, Howie Mandel booked me, and then about the very last second, panicked, and they called Drew and got him in there. And Drew, let me ask you a hypothetical.
Yeah.
And don't just say it because you're nice.
Yeah.
You ever met a comedian or another host that I wasn't better than?
No.
Okay, so why do we need you?
You don't.
Okay.
I believe me, it was not like I was delighted with the opportunity.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to jump
I think
on
Howie
that.
panics a lot. He strikes me as
No, Adam would be listen. Adam is the ambassador of this show, and you go out there and represent it very nicely, and that'd be fine.
Yeah, as soon as they finished the sash.
But we did the Roseanne show today, and they were it was so funny. Really, one of the great examples of television people hype.
Yeah.
What would you call that?
Just flat out, just basic hype and BS. Here's the deal with all these shows. They all have segment producers, and the segment producers are like this nomadic tribe of gypsies.
We run into in different shows. Right?
They're doing like Keenan, then that folds, then they go to Vibe, then that folds, then they go to Magic, then that folds, then they go to like Sally Jesse's sister, then that folds, and they just float from show to show to show, and they're always scared to death that their segment is going to fold and fail. And the way the shows work is
like Donnie and Osmond.
Donnie Marie. We just did that show.
We saw some people there we hadn't seen since Keenan, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when you're like Drew and I, you float from show to show, and we ain't doing Letterman and we ain't doing Leno. We do all the second-rate stuff, and it's the same group of nomadic producing gypsies who go from show to show to show. So we start seeing the same people, and as a matter of fact, the reason we end up at some of the shows is because one of the producers who was on Vibe before the show got canceled said, oh, yeah, we had Adam and Drew on Vibe. I know you don't know who they are. I know you don't like them. I know you don't trust them. But trust me, I produced their segment on Keenan. They were funny. We'll bring them on. But they're always scared they're going to lose their job. And their job, it hangs on the balance of how we do when we go out and do our segment. Now, the reality of that segment is if I'm bad and Drew's bad and the host is bad, the segment's going to suck.
And nothing anybody can do about it.
There's not a damn thing anyone can do about it. But they look at it as it's all their responsibility, and the host will go after them, apparently behind closed doors, if the segment doesn't go over that well.
Anybody can get a show on WB, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. They give everyone a show, and here's... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's your show, you go.
Here's the problem, quite frankly, and I thought Roseanne was good, and I don't have a problem with her.
We had a lot of fun with
her at all. But they have a lot of unqualified people hosting shows. A lot of people, thanks, Ann, who cannot produce as comedians, as hosts. And so all the responsibility falls into the lap of the nomadic gypsy producers. Now, our show, and I hate to use this opportunity to blow my own horn, but we don't have segment producers, really. I mean, our guest comes out, I'm lucky if I can get the CD that they came out with. They tell me, like, don't worry about it. I just sit down, start talking to them. I mean, I get a little card and it says their name and the name of the CD, and the rest is, go do what you do. And we don't have to talk to them that long. We go to calls. It's not as much trouble. But the point is they always go nuts, the producers. What are you going to talk about? What are you going to say?
On other people's shows.
Who's going to talk first? Oh, yeah, ours. No. They get pissed when you talk to them. Hey, how long has the series been on? I don't know. Look it up. Ask them when they come out.
It's on the card. We'll put it on the card.
Go find it. But anyway, so Drew...
You guys got a lot of us in you. This is good.
Well, wait a minute. So
what was the story today that was funny?
Producers were sitting in makeup. She goes, Roseanne cannot wait to talk about empowering women, and Drew, she just loves the fact that you're talking about lack of intimacy and the breakdown of the interpersonal situation, and specifically empowering women. It's just something she's just so into. This is one of her big issues. She gravitates to it all the time. Must have said that to me a half a dozen times while I sat and I thought, great, there'll be a lot to talk about.
Fast forward 15 minutes. There's Roseanne in the hall.
We go, hi, hey, how are you?
And Drew says, Roseanne, I'm glad you want to talk about women and empowering women. Empowering women? F women!
I hate that.
I hate women.
This is all their fault.
It's all their fault. Screw that Monica Lewinsky and screw broads. So Drew's like, all right. It's good.
There you go again.
There you go. They got you going in one direction, and here comes Roseanne to set the record straight.
Actually, then we actually talked after the show, and she actually had some very interesting ideas about what I've thought to be obvious, which is that we don't empower women interpersonally. She really holds women accountable for all the abuse that goes on in the interpersonal world and in families, that women are the enablers and allow this all to go forward. And somehow this is some sort of acting out that they do, too, to allow these perpetrators to come into the home and abuse the children. It was an interesting perspective. I mean, there's some truth to it.
Yeah, but the sprinkling. Like the wheat germ I put on my
but I still think that this is all male impulses that we're talking about here, and a society that encourages that sort of thing.
Drew magically expects celebrities to have better notions, He's usually disappointed. Let's be honest. Alexandra.
Hi.
You're 33.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, first I'd like to say to Dr. Drew, you are without a doubt the sexiest and kindest man on television and radio.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are more others.
No.
I don't agree. I made a conscious decision when I was 8 years old to never be married and never have children, and I've never had the desire for either one, except a couple of months ago I have been having a very strong desire for that. Is there some kind of biology with a biological clock ticking?
Are you in therapy or something?
I have been.
Maybe that's starting to work a little bit. Really? Because, I mean, it's a natural
but she's
impulse.
not in it now.
Yeah, but maybe whatever took hold,
whatever germ, whatever seed that's planted is sprouting.
Some work of therapy goes on in life outside of the therapeutic environment.
Jeez, what happened to you? I'm real tempted to gamble on Alexandra. I mean, she not only at age 8 decided never to have kids and never to get married, but she speaks in that choppy voice, which always means there's a little insanity going on there.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on?
Alexandra, oh, yeah.
Was molested by my father since the time I can remember, which was about 3 or 4 to 13. Molested by my third grade teacher. Molested by my uncle on my father's side, who was a priest, and ritually abused also by him.
What do you mean ritually abused?
Satanic worship.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Do you have MPD?
I was in therapy for that, and I've recovered from that.
Minneapolis Police Department?
No, multiple personality disorder.
You don't have that?
So who is... She does have that. She was in treatment for it.
Oh, really?
Who is
I was coming up with the Minneapolis Police joke.
Who is Alexandra?
The core person.
So you're the executive person?
Yes.
And how many other personalities do you have? Do you know?
Well, I'm integrated, and I had 21.
Wow.
Really?
What were some of them?
There was the faker that could smile at everyone and function.
Were they all women?
No, there was one man.
Interesting.
Which one had the biggest process? Because that's the one I want to talk.
You are scum.
Well, there was a very sexy personality that would sleep with anyone and act out with any man.
Never met one of them.
But you're all integrated. You're doing okay on meds now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is good. Hold on, Alexandra.
Okay.
Right, because we're gonna now we'll be talking to Alexandra when we come back, right?
Yeah. Alexandra?
Yes.
We'll be talking to you when we come back.
Okay.
You don't dissociate anymore, do you?
No, I'll be here.
All right.
Okay. Hang on. You know what you should do, Alexandra? I don't want to make fun of your condition, but why don't you put one of the other chicks on hold? You know what I mean? Like, could you channel in another one of your personalities to do the stuff you didn't want to do, like go down to the DMV?
You are my teacher.
Does that make sense, Drew? No, it doesn't. I have 2 personalities, but they're just 2 halves of 2 and together.
We never get to see the whole, unfortunately.
This is it. All right, Drew, you ready to go to break?
Yeah.
Local H is here, and we'll get back with Alexandra.
How can she not dissociate?
Yeah, right back with more Loveline. Cats is the name of the Local H CD. I think this is their 3rd. Jones got her both here for the band, and... Oh, a little coffee belch there. When we left off, we were speaking to Alexandra. Alexandra's 33. She had a bunch of scary ritualistic abuse go down when she was younger. Let me tell you something about religious people. When they're in line, there's no better people, but once they go off, look out. They get ultra super weird. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Atheists can only get so weird, and there's not a big difference. Religious guys are either right down the middle, squeaky clean, or they're just getting a dagger out with some goat's blood on it and talking about Satan. And by the way, this is, I don't believe, I'm trying to think of a group I haven't offended this evening. I'll move on to religion for just 1 second. I don't believe people who yell about religion too much and who thump the Bible too much and who quote things from the Bible too much and who try to force it on you too much and who make a living on it too much.
They don't believe it that much.
I don't believe they believe it that much, because just like a short guy who's in everyone's face telling them he's going to kick their ass, he's insecure. He's a little guy.
So what about...
So he turns it around and pushes it in your face, and the object is if you believe it, maybe I'll believe it. I think that's what they think. Yeah. People that really believe stuff, they leave you alone. They don't even want you. They don't even want you to bother them. If you think about it.
So all the people on TV, the religious people with the programs with the bad hair, they don't believe it.
No, they believe it, but not like they say they believe it. You know who I lump them in with? I lump them in with the guys who tell you how they're going to send you a video cassette to make $1 million in the stock market. I look at those guys. Every time I see one of those commercials, and they talk about taking $1,000 and turn it into $1 million in 6 months, and how you can buy real estate with no money down. And I swear to God, you watch one of those things, and you got some guy there. See that palace in the background? I bought it for $5, and the government paid me $4 back in the mail. And I'm like, holy Christ, how does this work? But anyway, you know what I think when I see those commercials? I think, listen, wise guy, why are you telling me about your secret? You know what I mean? Right. If you could take 1,000 and turn it into $1 million, why don't you turn your $1 million into 1,000 million?
Right. Why don't you do that over and over?
Why don't you just stay home and be quiet? You know, you draw the drapes.
Why do you need the money coming in from these damn?
Why do you need my money?
Yeah, right.
You can turn your 1,000 into $1 million. What do you need me for? And by the way, when you got a secret like that, when you can buy houses for $5 down. You don't tell anybody. You just you're so busy buying houses, you don't have time to cut a commercial, right?
The Donald Trumps of the world are not creating videotapes on how to.
No, they're just doing it.
They just do it.
That's deep cable right. Again. Deep cable.
Deep cable. That's right. So, same with the religious folks that are standing up there barking, yelling for money. Alexandra?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, you had not only your father abuse you sexually, but his brother, and then the third grade teacher.
Yeah.
How did they get on board with this?
They can just see what type of a child you are and just know.
Isn't that amazing? Right. Isn't that just unbelievable?
It's incredible. I look back and I just think he just knew what was going on in my life and really just kind of went with it.
That's right on the seating chart. Potential for molestation. Right down there. Then. So what did the teacher do with you?
It was kind of a slow thing. Keep me in at recess.
Is everyone?
That's a scary thing for me. That really
bet.
is.
Oh, I bet.
I feel like I still make bad choices in men. Although, thank God for your show, I have learned so much about myself through your show, more than I have through all the therapy I've been through.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You owe some money, sister. Seriously.
I'd just rather have a date with Dr. Drew, but I know he's married, but that's usually the kind of...
Let me tell you, you're saner than his wife, believe me.
Hey.
I'm kidding. You know. Hey, Drew, don't jump in so fast. Just laugh, you idiot. That way she won't notice. Let's try it again. You're saner than his wife, Drew.
I don't know about that.
See, we just walked right over that one. All right.
I seem to be the saner one of the people that are in my family. I don't...
Oh, yeah. I mean, God knows what was done to your father and his brother for them to become the kind of monsters that they became. Yeah. I mean, how much time did they spend in Frankenstein's lab to come out the way they came out?
Right.
Man.
Oh, boy. Were you ever exposed to grandparents on his side of the family?
No, it was just totally dysfunctional. On my father's side of the grandmother, was very controlling. She had a lot of money, and she liked to control people with her money.
What about the grandfather?
Very, almost not there. Just not there.
Something
like not there, like in jail?
No, not present emotionally. He was just
there must have been a butler ritualistically abusing the boys then or something. I mean, there's something really missing.
Or maybe he had his heyday.
Yeah.
He may have had a stroke and slowed down later on in life or something, but somebody did something to those two guys to turn them into what they were.
Yep.
All right.
Can I make another comment, though, before you let me go? What you were talking about, Roseanne, and women being accountable.
Yeah.
To me, I'm Portuguese, and it's a cultural thing. Girls are not supposed to leave their homes until they go to their husband's home. So my mother was just young, dumb, didn't speak any English, and my father, married her when she was a virgin. She didn't know any English. He isolated her, told her she was stupid every day of her life, and then she had, 3 children, and all this abuse was going on. So how can you leave? You have to continue that kind of life because you don't know how to...
Your dad's not Portuguese, is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Oh, so they were married? Were they in this country?
They married back in Portugal and then came over here.
But in a way, you're supporting Roseanne's argument in that it is the mom who allowed it to go on. It's understandable that she did, and maybe it couldn't have been otherwise. But it's sort of a different approach to say women have to not allow that to go on, or else they become accountable.
Right.
And it's different than the way that I would look at it, but that's it's a point of view.
Let me tell you something about Roseanne's argument for a second. If you said to Roseanne her argument, she would have come back with your argument.
When we first met her, I agree with you, but later on she was a little more sincere.
Celebrities love arguing with Drew. Here's the problem with celebrities. I was going to say not as smart. They're not all that smart sometimes. Here's the most dangerous thing about a celebrity.
It's movie people you're going to, mostly. We found this. I'm sure you're going to say. Go ahead.
Almost all celebrities. Wait a minute. We have any celebrities on the show? Not bands. Never bands.
Not Andy Dick.
Not bands. Not Andy Dick. He's coming up Thursday. People gather around to hear their opinions, and they write them down, and they put microphones in their faces. Most of these guys, have a high school education and have basically been drinking and doing blow for the last 15 years, and on the set of a sitcom, eating granola bars and doing table reads and arguing with their management. Their opinions aren't any more valid than your gardeners. The only problem is they think it is. So when Drew says, as a doctor with many years of training and hosting a show and a head of addiction medicine and so on and so forth, gives his opinion, regular folks, gardeners, they're all ears. Celebrities, they come back with their own half-baked opinion, and then they get a little freakish when Drew says, hey, you're wrong. Now they go nuts because they don't have people telling them, shut up, you're wrong, sit down, be quiet, read the script. Wouldn't you say that's a little bit true, Drew?
Yeah, I've noticed, especially with movie people.
I think
it's like they live in a separate world, and they're more insolent than anybody.
Right, and you got some 21-year-old kid who just got done doing Scream 5, giving Drew a handful of crap about addiction medicine, and Drew, just start backhanding these punks. Yes, sir.
The upswing is coming up on rock people too. They think they actually have something to say. You got these bands who made careers out of songs about partying.
Yeah.
And now, they win an award and they're like, this is what's going on in the world. And it's like, just shut up. I don't want to hear it.
That's true too. Everybody just shut up. I think that's the message.
Everybody's stupid, and that's probably the bottom line.
Right. Play your guitar, read your script, and shut up.
And remember, the last 30 years have been about question authority, and people who know something don't really know as much as you. But maybe the fact is, they know something. Well, maybe people that have studied things their whole life know something.
Well, Drew's the man, and they don't like it when the man has to come in with his opinion.
Well, how can you go up against a doctor?
Oh, they do. Oh, no. Believe me.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me.
I can make quite a sport of it.
Yeah.
And it pisses Adam off more than it pisses me off. I come to expect it.
I get offended for Drew.
It's because you make us wait in that waiting room. That's it.
In your underpants.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, yes. Don't get me started on getting the underpants while I go to Bermuda policy. Rick?
Yeah.
You're 28.
How you doing?
Good. You're on with Local H.
Hey, how you doing, Local H? I was noticing the cover of your As Good as Dead CD, and I just thought it was kind of odd with the 2 quarters over the little boy's face. What's it signify?
They're quarters on his eyes.
Yeah.
And when there was a dead person, they put coins on their eyes, like in the 1800s, to keep their eyelids closed.
Oh, wow.
I always thought I never thought it was a quarter. Wasn't it? I always thought it was nickels, or maybe my family's just cheap, so they...
Yeah, well, quarters fit better in the song, so,
Yeah.
What do they do? I wasn't aware of
They put quarters on people's eyes, or nickels, or whatever.
Pennies.
Depending on how old the child or person is and how big their face structure is, to keep the eyelids shut, because, the eyelid is the strongest. Well, you're a doctor. And, but, it's to keep them shut, I guess, because they always open. Because you have to sew them closed today, right?
Yeah, but so what? So they bury people with the coins they place?
I remember seeing an image of...
So your dad would jump in and salvage them that night. You'd be back with a flashlight and a shovel. There's 10 cents. 6 feet earth between me and 10 cents.
You're going too far now. What's that?
I think I saw...
Is the boy dead?
Huh? Well, basically, he's not dead, but
he's gonna be if he doesn't change
If he doesn't get out of the small town, he might as well just die there.
I see.
That's what the record's about, anyway.
Gotcha.
You had something else, Rick?
Yeah, I did.
Drew, you didn't know the whole coin thing?
No, I didn't know about that. It's funny.
Really?
Yeah.
It's true. 2 days ago...
Well, maybe the doctor ain't so smart, everybody.
2 2 days ago in the mail, I got a package with some Viagra in it. And it wasn't sent to me, but my curiosity, I opened it and decided to keep it. Well, tomorrow night I have a date.
No, Rick.
So
Don't do it.
Give me the scoop on this because of, I'm going to take it.
What the hell were you doing? Why did this come to you?
Excuse me?
Why did this come to you?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's not even my address, but it was in my mailbox. It was actually supposed to go to Spokane, which I'm a long ways away from. So.
Is there another name on it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a name on it.
Oh, well, how confusing is this? Someone just sent it to the wrong address, right?
Well, Viagra is a...
There's some old guy pacing in front of the mail slot in front of his door. He's got like three Asian hookers on the sofa. Hold on, any day now.
Is it really Viagra, or is it
says Viagra.
Is it the stuff is it the stuff that's marketed as Viagra, and it's?
Well, I can tell you what the pill looks like.
How many milligrams is it?
50.
50 milligrams. That could be Viagra. It's sort of a diamond-shaped.
Blue, yeah.
Diamond-shaped thing.
Why would you take it in the first place?
Well, there's no reason. I mean, I'm not impotent or anything, but I don't know. Just giggle, I guess.
No, don't do it. Now, listen,
what kind of side effects could it have?
We don't know. We don't know the long-term consequences of Viagra, especially when a young person uses it. We know that there's some risks in people with heart disease on nitroglycerins. It looks very safe in older males for people who have a medical reason for erectile dysfunction, but in somebody who's otherwise healthy, we don't know.
All right, well, hold on. Let me dispute that for a second. So, but I do agree with you. If you don't have a problem with it, sell it to your friends. Don't take it yourself. But Drew, don't give me that nonsense. If you're a guy who's in his 60s, let's say you're a 65-year-old guy. Let's say you're Ed Asner. Let's all just close our eyes and picture Ed Asner coming at us with a flaccid penis. You're Ed Asner, you have no heart problems, you're not on the nitroglycerin, you're not on any heart medications, and you have erectile difficulty.
Yes.
You would then be prescribed the Viagra, and it will be considered fairly safe for you to take.
As far as we know.
Right. Now, wouldn't it then be safer for a 28-year-old to take? I mean, I don't want to get people into trouble here, but he has the same thing that Ed Asner has, except for he has a penis that works.
It might be safer acutely in terms of the immediate risk to taking the medication, but the long-term effects, we don't know.
But you don't know the long-term
for Ed. If your penis already isn't working, the risk of erectile dysfunction down the line is not a big issue to you. If you have a normally functioning penis, and screwing with the nitrate pathways and stuff that the Viagra does might someday give you some problems that we're not yet aware of.
Okay, so it'd be the same as like steroids.
Yes.
If you need them, you take them.
Yeah.
Okay. And if not, it can screw you up down the road.
We don't know. Maybe.
Well, you know steroids can.
Yes.
Okay. Jeremiah?
Yeah.
What's going on? You're 18?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Well, first of all, I want to say I love the show. I think you guys should, lead this country, you know?
That's just Adam.
Yeah. Well,
you're going to be my cabinet.
All right.
Under the sink, not my political cabinet. Yeah, Jeremiah?
Is 40 milligrams a lot of Paxil to take?
20 is standard, 40 is not uncommon.
Okay.
Why?
Because that's what I'm on. And what exactly does Paxil do?
It raises serotonin levels in certain regions of the brain that are responsible for maintaining your mood. It's a very short-acting antidepressant, so if you stop it suddenly, you can get a pretty substantial withdrawal syndrome.
Well, here's a good celebrity opinion. Man, I think people just take too much stuff for too much stuff. What about just chilling out?
That's the John Favreau deal. Hey, don't let them tell you to take things you don't want to take,
He used such big words there.
What are you taking medicines for, Jeremiah?
Manic depression, but, I mean, I also want to know what my lithium does, and...
Well, lithium is a mood-stabilizing medication. It's a salt that we don't entirely know how it works, but it's kind of a different issue than mood elevation. It's trying to to flatten out those fluctuations that you get when you're biologically prone to bipolarity.
Because I was taking 5 lithiums a day, 300
in the morning, 2 at night. It was pretty much normal.
And I stopped taking the lithium because I was getting depressed, and I'm still depressed.
Yeah, well...
And now it's getting worse, and I'm only on Paxil.
Well, you need to talk to your doctor about a change. And most people these days are heading towards anti-epileptic therapy for bipolar illness, so things like Depakote, Tegretol, rather than lithium are a little more popular right now. Okay?
Do you have any questions about what Wilma or Fred or Barney might do in the pill form?
What?
I was thinking of...
Flintstone vitamins?
Yeah, because that's something I could comment on. I don't know about the Depakote and the rest of this stuff. Hey, Drew. All right, Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Now get some counseling, too.
Okay.
All right, don't kill yourself.
No problem.
All right, until after the fall book is ended, at least. We got to get some ratings. Drew?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something with the milligrams. Was that the unit we were just talking about?
Yeah.
You talking about 20, you talking about 40.
Talk about 500, talk about a tenth of a milligram.
Okay, is that this... That's not the size of the pill, though, is it?
It's nothing. It's just for that chemical, it's the amount it's the quantitative measurement of amount of substance of that amount of that chemical in the pill.
The amount of the substance that is the activated substance or the acting substance?
Yes.
And what's the rest of the pill?
Something to hold it together.
So here's what I'm saying. Like, you could have a pill that was 500 milligrams of something, and it could be smaller than a pill that was 20 milligrams of something.
Sometimes. It depends, and sometimes it can be long-acting and short. The way the pill dissolves and the way it, is let out into the system can be different.
But a milligram is a measurement of weight, right?
No.
Why not? It's a gram. It's a milligram. True, you better go back and study.
It's weight. Well, it's weight. Okay.
All right, so it's weight. Okay, I want to look into this because I really think they ought to work this out so you kind of know, because it's kind of weird when you're taking, you take 250 milligrams of ibuprofen or something, and then you take 20 milligrams of Depakote, and that's a lot, and 40, you don't have any range to know.
It doesn't matter. Each molecule is totally different in terms of its activity. Some chemicals are active in micrograms.
Right.
Okay, and so you take a certain amount of micrograms because that's what's biologically active. In others, it's in milligrams. Some it's in grams. You have to take grams of some stuff because that's what you need in order to get the biologic effect you're looking for.
Right. It's been a while. The one good thing about the cocaine is it taught a lot of young people the metric system.
But you understand that it's all based on...
Guys are like mathematical geniuses who never finished high school and knew nothing about the metric system until they started dealing coke.
I mean, there is... To try to equate milligrams of Paxil to milligrams of lithium, say, is nonsensical. You can't even do it. It doesn't even make sense.
I don't know, but, to me, it's just a unit of weight, so why...
but it's per molecular size and number of particles in the pill and stuff like that.
All right.
And doesn't it go on how long it takes to break down inside your system, so it supplements for...
Some of them, it's that. Some of them, it's that. Some of it's that.
Scott, I think you saw I had a point mixed in there somewhere, right? It just wasn't a well-thought-out one.
But if something is a giant molecule, it weighs more. So you have fewer particles.
Okay. All right.
You see?
Okay.
So you want to know why a pill has to be so big that you can't swallow it and you want to throw up.
Right. Amy.
Yeah?
You're 24.
Uh-huh.
What's up with you?
Oh, I had a comment about something you said earlier and a question for Dr. Drew, if I could.
All right.
Okay, the comment was that you were talking about how people in the Midwest are nicer. I live in the Midwest. No, we're not. There's people are just very closed-minded around here, or not everybody, but a lot of people are very closed-minded, and it's just, people are just the same everywhere. You can't just say...
It's all relative to where you are. Come to Los Angeles for about 4 hours and see if you still feel the same way.
Yeah, but I think people probably are more open-minded. I mean, the people are just very... as far as manners goes, maybe, but people are just very closed-minded here.
Yeah, but
the fact that you use the term manners is already showing how much nicer people are where you are.
Yeah,
consider something called manners out here.
A friend of mine and I were at a store, and she was telling somebody she was a lesbian, and people were walking away from her, walking to the other aisle.
Well, that's my point. Listen, if you got a bone through your nose and you're a lesbian and you're in the heartland, you may be in for a beating. But as a couple of semi-celebrity male white guys, we're in great shape in the Midwest. They love our ass over there, and that's what we're going off of.
That's all. If you're a white guy, that's it.
Well, I don't know.
Otherwise, you're screwed.
I don't know if it's all about color, but we're white, we're male, and we're sort of celebrities, and that goes over fine in the Midwest.
Color's pretty big.
What's that?
Where are you from?
Huh?
Where are you from?
Missouri.
Well, when were we there? Oh, and don't call it Missouri, by the way.
Missouri.
Yes, you're from Missouri.
It's Misery, actually.
Kansas City. We were in Kansas City.
Yeah, we thought people were pretty cool over there, actually.
I'm not from somewhere as big as Kansas City, but I'm not from Boonies either.
You had another question?
Well, all I know is we stopped at a little mini-market and we got to use the bathroom. Usually, in L.A., you don't get to use the bathroom.
Okay.
You get this look, and then... you either get the key with the key chain on it that's a truck tire. It's a truck rim that you got to drag around in the back of the place, and they usually just tell you it doesn't work. I don't know what it is, but in L.A., you don't, here's the thing, you get to crap in one toilet. That's the one at your house. You can't use any other bathroom. There's a key for everyone, or it's out of order. You don't just pull over to a gas station and use the bathroom in L.A.
Amy, you had another question?
Yeah, I've been trying to call and ask.
Hold on, Drew, could you imagine, hold on a second, hold on. Could you imagine just going into a 7-Eleven down the street, just walking in real fast and saying to the guy behind the counter, hey, man, I got to use the bathroom, where is it? How do you think that would go over with the guy?
He wouldn't even answer.
You wouldn't even answer. Yeah. You just get that steely look, and then he'd converse with, like, his brother for a minute, and then he'd come back to you and tell you the last guy blew it up. Or they'll just tell you it doesn't exist, so it's not for you.
I don't think in Chicago you can use the bathroom in the gas station. I mean, the outdoor bathroom, just like here, but I don't think you can go in.
Really? Well, maybe it's any major city. But can you buy stuff, or do you got to talk through the big chunk of glass?
Oh, you got to talk through the big chunk of glass after hours.
Yeah, well, here it's all the time. And when we were traveling through the Midwest, we're just stopping off at places. Yeah, you all want to use the bathrooms right over there. Take time, and don't even bother flushing. We'll be in to take care of that.
Well, now that's where you get into the country.
Oh yeah, that was good. All right, Amy.
Yeah.
And we got to take a break because we're running a little bit late here. We'll get back to you on your question, though.
Okay.
Also, there's a call coming up for you, Adam. It's James did a study in school. Scientific study correlating left-handedness and love for large breasts.
Oh, really?
You're left-handed, aren't you?
That's good. Yeah. I like when people do that. All right, we'll be back. All righty. It is Loveline. Welcome to the pizza party. Joe and Scott are both here from Local H. We just got hold of a pizza, so look out.
Wherever there's Local H, there's pizza. Everybody knows that.
And by the way, when you get a good piece of pizza in your hand and it's warm, you have to bite into it. You could be... the Pope could be giving you a lecture on something. Your hand would just come up and go right in your mouth with the pizza, especially if it's good. I got to do something, Drew.
It's also impossible to stay around other people eating pizza and not.
You have to.
Yourself, yeah.
Absolutely. So, Drew, give some sort of speech about troubled teens or something while I eat this pizza.
Let's go back to Amy. She had a question. Come on.
Oh, we can play a song, too. Yeah, hold on. Well, let's finish with Amy, then we'll get this song. All right, make it fast there, Amy. We got the pizza
I
now.
had a question for Dr. Drew, and I kept trying to call and ask, and they kept hanging up on me.
What's up?
Okay, I went to my doctor because I've been having trouble with some numbness in my hands.
Both hands?
Yeah.
Until you have carpal tunnel?
Yeah. And he said I could have a possible spinal cavity, but he wouldn't tell me what that was. I'm like, could you elaborate?
Well, that there's some impingement in your neck, usually of the nerves coming out of the spine, not so much something going into the spine itself. But in the hand numbness, does it worse at night?
Not really.
You kind of shake your hands and try to make it wake up? Is it the sense?
Yeah.
That's classic carpal tunnel syndrome. That's probably what you have.
Well, I have that.
Yeah.
I do?
Uh-huh.
I also have spina bifida.
Yeah,
I was wondering if something could be going on with that, or if it was just that. I mean, because for what
spina bifida is in your lumbar spine. It has nothing to do with your hands.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
There you go.
I'm gonna get a new. I'm getting a new dog.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm looking for names.
I was making me sick, man. That sound.
What kind of dog are you getting?
I don't know. It's a mutt. It's real cute, but spina bifida is kind of a cute name for a dog. Spina. Spiny. Spina bifida.
No, when you get mad.
Yeah, when you're mad. Spina bifida. Carolla. You got to put your name on the end of it because the dog just sort of becomes like a family member. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to play something from Local H, and then we're going to have ourselves some Local P here. Is there another slice out there, Scott?
No, all we got. I just had to eat the vegetable crap, and it sucks.
Jesus
It's like
Christ.
LA pizza.
That's cool. I don't care. Don't ruin it for me.
These guys
from Chicago, you know.
Yeah. Joe ate, we eat the pizza in the airport in Chicago when we weren't having. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like when you really get into the city.
Airport pizza.
All right, we're going to hear something.
Don't laugh at our airport pizza. We love that airport pizza.
Man, airport pizza always makes me want to get up in the airplane
There's
and
the
go.
Geno's there every time.
Oh, Geno's East?
All right, listen to me, all you numbskulls. I want to play something from this record so you guys can move some product here. Yeah. Pack Up the Cats is the CD. All Right. Oh, yeah, is the name of the song.
The pizza.
No, it's good.
Pizza.
No, it's a good song. I like that. I could barely hear it over my own chomping. I got the deviated septum, so I can't breathe and eat at the same time.
Oh, I'm busted, man.
deviated, yeah.
Pack Up the Cats is the name of the CD. That was something from the new CD. And we're here with Local H. We'll go to another caller. Bob?
Yeah. I just wanted to get some information from Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
How long do side effects of marijuana use last after you quit?
The mood problems, which can be quite substantial, usually go about 6 months.
Okay.
The anxiety and agitation that comes with withdrawal goes a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
But if you're trying to stop pot and you're a marijuana addict, it ain't going to work.
It ain't going to work.
You've got to have some sort of 12-step involvement in order for there to be a sustained abstinence.
Okay.
It is a profoundly addictive drug for some people, and I tell you...
Well, how does he know he's addicted? You addicted, Bob?
Yes, I am.
How long you smoke pot for?
About 10 years.
That's a while. Every day?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. And when did you give it up?
Within about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, boy. You got to be going out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the mood... people
I'd
don't
hate
realize
to be around Bob's house.
That suicidal depression is a common syndrome in the first 6 months of marijuana abstinence.
You have a wife or a fiance or something?
No.
Please get some medical attention if you start feeling overwhelmed by the depressive symptoms.
What made you quit?
It stopped working.
Well, basically, death in the family.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you should double down. I mean, why?
He
why
tried
you,
that.
What's that?
Stop speaking for him.
I'm sure it's the case.
Why did you? Why did the death cause you to quit?
Call it a wake-up call. Call it whatever you want.
Well, did they die of something drug-related?
No. Just health problems.
They didn't have a lung?
Heart attack.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't from smoking pot?
No.
You just... I mean, here's what I'm getting at. What's that?
Mistreated his wife, basically.
Okay, so you don't want to abuse yourself with the pot?
No.
All right, and you're not the kind of guy who could smoke it on the weekends?
That will not happen, Adam.
I'm just asking him.
He's not.
Okay. All right, Bob, you're doing the right thing.
Bye.
What should you do?
Go to MA, Marijuana Anonymous, and get some support and talk to people who've been through this.
I think the people at CA are better looking. That's the one I'd go to.
CA?
Cocaine Anonymous.
But that's not the idea.
I hear there's...
You don't want to be... You shouldn't be distracted by that kind of thing, in fact.
Yeah, but my friends would tell me that the CA meetings in Hollywood were just packed full of good-looking chicks.
CAA meetings are even better.
CA... Yeah.
A.
What is that?
CAA.
Is it?
It's almost the same thing.
You mean the lawyer?
Arts agency, right. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah, except for they don't have vaginas. They just have hooks down there. They're just claws, like what's at the center of a octopus. All right. Drew?
Yeah.
You ready to go to break over here? Mm-hmm. No, Local H is here. We'll be back. Alrighty. Just reading a little... Oh, I see, yeah. Little fax from Salt Lake City. Local H is here. Drew's here, although he wishes he wasn't. I know what you're thinking, Drew. You're ready to go home. James?
Yeah?
You're 23.
How's it going, Adam? Drew?
Good.
Local H?
How you doing?
Good. I got a question for you, Adam. Since you're on the topic of theories today, I've had one I've been trying to get into you for a while now. My theory is I think that... left-handed men prefer breasts, and right-handed people prefer posteriors, as it were. And I didn't know you were left-handed until a few months ago, and then when I heard that you were on the show, I really figured I better call in and see if you could do some research on this.
Oh, you haven't actually done the study?
Well, just at high school, not just like an informal locker room study.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. If I'm with a woman... would I be on her left side or her right side? Because if I'm on her left side, if I'm left-handed and that puts me on her left side, then that makes sense, because the left hand goes for the boob and the right hand goes for the ass.
The hell are you talking about?
You'd have a hard time getting your right hand around her to go for the boob, unless you went around the other side with the right hand for the boob, but then the left hand still couldn't get to the ass without going, like, around your own ass.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, here's what I'm thinking about.
A wheelbarrow to do that?
When you're with a woman... and you're walking down the street, and it's a random street, and it's a random woman, what side are you on?
Whichever.
Don't make a difference.
No.
Yeah, but what if you really studied it? Don't you think you'd be on one side more than the other?
I guess I'd be more on the left side.
You'd be more on the left side because you'd put your good arm around her.
Yeah.
Now, you see, my thing is I'd probably put my bad arm around her, keep my left hand free to ward off people. You know what I'm saying?
That's your hook, right? Is that?
No, that's a cross. Left hand.
I see.
Yeah. All right. Listen, James.
Yeah.
I'm treading water in a bucket of my own urine here. You understand?
I think James is off.
You're thinking way too much.
Okay.
All right, you quit smoking pot too, would you?
Hey, all right.
All right.
I got a quick question for Drew.
Yeah.
My wife is about 14 weeks pregnant. She woke up today and she had been bleeding.
Uh-oh.
And we went to the doctor, and we checked out, and the baby still has a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But he looked in and said the cervix was closed, but he didn't know what caused the bleeding, and I was just wondering if you have any idea.
It can be a lot. If he has no idea, there's no way I can speculate beyond that. I mean, you have to be very careful. She kind of taking it easy right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, take it very easy. If she lost any babies in the past?
No, this is the first pregnancy.
Okay. Hopefully it will be nothing.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Would you figure she was like on the rodeo circuit or something after the bleeding?
No, I just would think they'd tell her to just lay low for a few days and make sure it's not.
That's 14 and 3.5 months.
Mm-hmm. You get placenta previa.
Oh, boy. Oh, the whole thing. Oh, I'm scared. Does anyone have any kids? Joe, Scott? Any kids? Aren't you guys scared to death? Are you scared to have kids?
Yes. Am I scared of death?
Scared to death of kids?
Yes. Yes. Scare me.
I'm not scared of them. I just...
Yeah, but I mean, you know, your girlfriend, your wife gets pregnant. You wake up one morning, there's blood all over the bed. She's freaking out. I mean, imagine. Let me give you a scenario.
No.
Your wife gets pregnant. You get about 4 or 5 months into it. She miscarries. She's a mess for the next year.
Check this out.
You got to deal with that.
Horror flicks. I love gore.
Right.
But I cannot talk about the females.
Right. That's right.
Pregnant. I just it grosses me out.
That's me too.
Can't talk about it.
What if you have a kid and something's wrong with it? I mean, there you go. That's the worst.
I couldn't imagine.
And you brought this life in the world, and you have to be responsible for the rest of your life. That's just too big of a load.
You guys don't know what you're talking about.
Even if everything goes perfectly, it's a pain in the ass.
You wait.
You can't pack up and get on a bus.
The only reason Adam's obsessed about this topic is because he watches me. And it freaks him out.
I just couldn't imagine. I can't imagine.
So you have no kids, Adam?
No, I don't have any kids.
Why is that?
I'm scared. Listen, I had a dog and it died. I swear to God. Yeah. I can't even have a dog at this point.
How did your dog die?
I smothered it with a pillow. It was yapping. No, it had some kind of liver problem, and the dog died, and it was just a little puppy. That was devastating enough. I couldn't imagine. And it was just quick. I dropped off at the vet, came back, in an urn, basically. I mean, it wasn't back and forth, and I couldn't imagine. I'm scared to have kids.
Tina, what's going on?
Hi. I was calling, actually. I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yes,
I've been trying to get you for, about 3 years.
All right, what's going on?
There's something kind of messed up with my hormones, apparently.
Okay.
I had some tests done, and they said everything was within normal ranges, but my testosterone level was a little bit high, and they couldn't tell what was wrong because I have my periods on an average of about once a year.
Did they talk about... what else going on? What other symptoms do you have?
I get facial hair on my chin and my stomach, and it's rough, kind of like pubic hair.
Did anybody mention polycystic ovaries?
Briefly.
Do you think that's what you have, maybe?
I don't know.
Because something called the Stein-Leventhal syndrome, where you have polycystic ovaries, abnormal periods, and a lot of hair. And that's kind of what's going on here. Are you on any medication?
No.
There's they're actually PCO, polycystic ovarian support groups, and then at the Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, they have a whole support network there.
Yeah.
And there's a little known fact that some medication causes valproic acid, Depakote.
So I'd rather hang out at the CA meeting in Hollywood. I think you still got a better chance.
And Tina, it's good that you had a workup. I mean, there can be tumors of the ovaries, of the adrenal gland that can produce excessive amount of testosterone, but it sounds like they ruled that out. And then there's just familial hirsutism. People just have that in their family. And that's actually the most common kind.
What they had told me was there was a possibility that I gained weight too fast. When I was 10, there was other things going on in my life. So I gained weight really fast, and I didn't hit puberty. I mean, my first period was like when I was 17.
Hey, Tina, it sounds like there's a more than just a little hair on the chin going on with you.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
What's that all about?
And by the way, what's why? You know, when I think of hirsute, I think of hair suit.
Hirsute, yeah.
Hair.
Yeah.
Hair suit, like you're wearing a suit of hair.
Well, that's interesting.
Where does it come from?
It's not. It's HIRSUTE.
Yeah, but why would you say hair suit for someone who has too much hair on them, unless you meant they're wearing a hair suit?
It's hirsutism. It's not hair suitism.
Yeah, but it sounds like hair suit.
I appreciate that you've created that little mnemonic in your head.
But it's kind of confusing, you know. I was reading a porn magazine once, and it called it called Ron Jeremy the hirsute coxman. And I thought, yeah, that's good. They really have great writing in those, especially the Busty series. But
Tina, what else happened? What's going on?
Well, we moved from a small town, Wyoming, you know, where everybody knows everybody, to big city Denver, and my family just kind of fell apart.
The family, who? Your kids and your husband?
No.
Your family of origin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Hey, Tina?
Huh?
I know you're a little bit depressed, but I'm getting depressed too, and it's late, and we can't pry answers out of you. So if you have a major problem other than the hirsutism, you got to spit it out right now. Go ahead.
I was molested by my dad, and I couldn't protect my sisters from him.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
That's more.
I hate the whole tough love angle, but man, look, it worked.
Yeah.
All right. Are you getting? Is that where the eating thing came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Are you getting some counseling for this?
Yeah.
All right. And what about your sisters? How are they doing?
They seem to be handling it okay. I mean, we're all a lot older now. One of them's engaged to be married.
Keep an eye on her.
And,
how old is she?
She's 21.
And what's the other sister? How old is she?
She is 19.
Have they all gotten some counseling?
No.
Do they having kids and starting families and acting out?
No.
Really?
No.
Have you had a lot of chaotic relationships?
I have, personally, yes.
I'm guessing they have too.
They must.
What do you think about the guy your sister's going to marry?
He's really good for her.
Really?
They have been together for, 4 or 5 years now?
I think it's been 5, yeah.
All right.
And they've been really, really good for each other.
Okay. I don't trust him, but all right. All right. So you're getting some counseling and
Yes, I am.
taking care of your stuff?
I'm trying, huh?
Okay, good. Keep it up. Boy, I could hear something going on in her voice.
Oh, yeah.
But I can understand being a little depressed with the wearing the hairsuit and all, but there was a lot more going on there.
Oh, yeah.
I find the origin of hirsute. It's like you're saying.
Red bug.
It's like a German talking about.
Mine hair.
Yeah.
Ask that dude from Salt Lake City. I'm sure his pompous face will know.
All right, let's not lash out. Those are our bread and butter. Those listeners.
Mark,
I never discourage the listeners, bro. That's my policy, except for calling them stoners and idiots. Mark.
Yes.
You're 19. You've been on hold for 88 minutes.
Yes.
Let it rip, baby.
What's up? I just want to say I listen to you guys' show all the time.
Thanks.
And I just want to say what's up to Joe and Scott and Gabe, wherever he's at. And I had a couple questions for the band. One was, what's the cat theme like on your album about?
It's about the river Styx. Now, it's just this thing that, we really didn't have much of a theme, and so there was a couple cat references in the record, and we thought it'd be a good way to go, because I really, really hate cats. And I want to, raise the level of consciousness about how evil they are.
Yeah, Drew's going to do a PSA about killing felines later on this week.
We got to go to break, guys.
I have one more question.
Real quick, Mark.
Okay, just a request. I'm going to you guys' show in San Francisco on Thursday. I was wondering if you guys could play a Chicago fanfare.
We'll give it a try.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, Mark. Take care. Thanks for waiting for all that time. We'll be back. Nick? Yep. Local H, we got to wind it up here because we got to finish our conversation about cats off the air. Pack Up the Cats is the name of the CD. Oh, sure, just cleared the line. Somebody was on hold for 80 minutes. Oh, I hate that. I think that was Emma. Sorry there, Emma. Joe, Scott, thank you very much. Again, The Troubadour tomorrow night, and then Parts Unknown after that. Thanks for coming in, guys. It was good seeing you again. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo. Yes. Hey.